Hey, welcome back to From Young Love to
Grace-Filled Marriage.
All right, we said Grace-Filled Life to begin with, but it's really, we're changing it on the fly a little bit, so it's Grace-Filled Marriage now, not Grace-Filled Life. But it is a Grace-Filled Life. Anyway,
Yes.
welcome back. Hey, topic 2, we're going to jump right in.
Well, we're first going to thank everyone.
Oh, of course, we're going to thank everybody for all the encouragement.
Yeah, wonderful encouragement we've received. So thank you so much.
Really?
Even privately too.
right.
Just thank you to all of you who've reached out to us and just
That's right.
encouraged us to do this.
Do this.
So
Keep on. Looking
Yeah.
forward to the next episode and all that good stuff. It's been
Right.
pretty cool.
Yes.
Thank you all
Yeah,
again.
Thank you.
It's a blessing. All right, so we are jumping into the deep end of the pool, so to speak. We're going to pick a topic that we dealt with very early in our marriage. It's the big D word. I think Eli said that the other day. D. What's the big D or something like that, right? Divorce, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk a little bit about how we dealt with that topic in our marriage, early on in our marriage, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think in our intros, we talked about our families and how we come from different backgrounds. And I came from a background of divorce in my family. So that had a profound impact on me, probably more than I realized, and more than I realized. And then we got married, and I brought that into our marriage a bit. So we would have spats. Yeah, really. I don't always make it easy for Missy, so we would have some spats, some fights, especially as young
And
love.
we still do. But anyway, we're
That-
talking about
No way.
in the beginning. In the beginning, yes.
Sure, we do.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what happened. It happened, like we've talked about, we're young love, right? I was 18 years old. I always like saying I asked her to marry me at 17. I'll probably say it every single time.
And I was 19.
And so, we would get into spats, and I inevitably would say this: "Are we getting divorced?"
And it was very confusing for me because he kept doing it, and I was like, this doesn't make sense to me. Again, reminding you that I was raised in a family that stayed together, married 60 years. So, and I saw my parents argue at times, and so I'm like, this is just a normal thing, right? That we're gonna have disagreements, and that's okay. So why is Gene always wanting or questioning me about this? Are we going to get a divorce? So
yeah, again, because I just was bringing that into our life. It was like, and it was as if I was giving the devil a foothold or something. Like there was an out. Like somehow there was an out, and that we weren't going to make it. But it wasn't true. It just wasn't true. So I did this numerous times, and we determined that I should probably seek some advice on this. Enter into our lives a marvelous chaplain friend of ours who I still dearly love and always will. And he really helped us out. So it was kind of like get some counseling, but it was more he really directed some attention to me. Like to the point of, Gene, why do you say this? Is it an option? And I guess I said no, right? And he said, well, then why do you say it? And I said, I don't know. He said, so don't. And I said, yeah, I shouldn't. You're exactly right. So it was kind of that, hold me accountable to something that I probably knew, but no one had ever said, don't say that.
and bringing to light the realization that, even at 18 and 19, we still brought things to the marriage, right? To our marriage that from our upbringing or whatever. So it doesn't matter, I guess, what age you are when you get married.
Yeah.
You're still going to bring things. So he brought that to light to us.
Yeah, he did. He did bring that to light to us that we were. I mean, you mentioned in the first one about men are from Mars and women are from Venus thing, and right? I think that was. Did you mention that?
No,
I can't remember.
Not yet.
Oh yeah, right. So, well, that's okay. And yeah, we talked about it. That's what it was. We talked about it, and so, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. And he said the thing that we should do is maybe grab a dictionary and write it out of our vocabulary. Like that's not a part of our lexicon. It was probably some of the best advice, if not the best advice we received in our young marriage was divorce is not an option. It's not even in your vocabulary. It's not part of your lexicon. You don't bring it up.
Now, was that hard? Of course it was hard.
No.
Hard, you know, to change our thinking, change the way we were thinking, right? So
right.
It took time for sure. And
yeah.
But
we did it.
But we held each other accountable.
We did. And you know, we've been married 38 years. So do you think it ever came up ever? Yeah, I mean, we're human beings, and we would maybe fall back into that stance once or twice. I mean, literally it's probably just once or twice we've ever had kind of those kind of arguments where maybe I threw that out, because I don't think Missy's ever thrown that out. It was me. And so, but the point is, we would hold each other accountable to that original commitment. Didn't we say, Gene, did you really say that? I didn't mean it, but I had said it, but because I'm a human being. So, but we held each other accountable to that original commitment. I think that's the most important thing.
And I think one of the things too that we probably should have said in the beginning is that we know this is a sensitive topic. And,
I did mention that we were going to.
Yeah, sensitive topic, and you know, I think you had said we're not going to delve into like the biblical aspect of all of it. This is just, you know, a reminder that this is our story, and this is something that happened to us, and
that's right.
And this chaplain friend came into our life at a really, really important time, and was much needed, and so he was a great help to us, and so I think we just wanted to share that, you know, to just not make it part of your vocabulary. Yeah. You know?
So we've definitely hit that. I think hit that point. And back to your point about from a biblical perspective and basically unpacking divorce from what Jesus says about divorce. You know, we know that divorces have happened. We've had friends who love dearly who have been divorced and who have remarried and had phenomenal marriages. Point being, like Missy just said, and I'll just foot stomp, for us, this is our story, and we wrote it out long ago. And we think marriages who remarry probably might do the same thing, right? Write it out of your vocabulary, starting now, starting whenever, but don't make it an option. That's the key. Don't make it an option.
Yeah. And I think Gene kind of hit on it a little bit about one of the things that this chaplain friend told us too was, you know, because we were having arguments, you know, disagreements and everything, and he said, you know, Missy, your family is, you know, comes from this planet right here, right? And you were raised and grew up on this planet. You guys did things a certain way, right? And then Gene was raised over here on another planet, and his family did things a certain way, right? And so when we come into the marriage, we're creating, I guess, a new planet. And so we bring all of these things into the marriage that, you know, like expectations and things that you know, we just take for granted that are going to be right on this planet. And, or, you know, when we come together in marriage.
Just different things, and, weird things sometimes that we each brought.
Yeah. So, and I think Gene mentioned it earlier, the book that came out like in the early 90s, like Men Are From Venus and Women Are From Mars.
Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
Okay, however it goes. But, and that's kind of the concept of it was, you know, what I just described. And so it's a good thing to think about. And, you know, one funny example is...
I know where you're going.
When we first got married.
So silly.
So when we first got married, Gene would, in the bathroom, after he'd take a shower or whatever, he would take the washcloth and kind of just throw it over the shower rod, right? So after a while, we'd have just this line of washcloths, right?
That's how I grew up doing it.
And
to make sure it got dry.
On his planet, that's how they did it. On my planet, we didn't do it like that. So after a while, I'm like, Gene, this is not working for me, honey. We can't do this, right? So we had to work through that. That's just kind of
I just want to rest. I want everybody to rest assured. I never asked Missy if she wanted a divorce over that. I just got to come clean. So I don't know where we were going with that, but it was because we are from different planets and we do bring different stuff, and we got to learn how to.
And it's arguing and disagreements. That's kind of why I brought it up. That's right. Yeah, is that, you know, we have disagreements because, you know, I think things should be done one way, and he thinks things should be done a different way, right? And so we have to communicate to figure out how to do that. And I think that's going to be our next topic is going to be on
topic, probably maybe a couple, we might be talking about that for a couple episodes, a couple 15-minute or less episodes.
Yeah.
But the point I want to make on that, just before we leave it and we close this out, is that he taught us, this chaplain friend, dear friend, he taught us to fight fair as well. He kind of gave us some tools in our toolbox in our marriage early on, again, very early on, that still are with us today. And the impact it had then has had a profound impact today in us being actually liking each other a lot after 38 years. So and we can do this and share and just share. So I think we can probably wrap this up now, even though it's maybe a little shorter than 15 minutes, but I think that'll some people might thank us for that. Anything we want to add?
I think the only thing I'd like to add is if you thank you for listening to the first one, and if you get to the end, you're at the end here, thank you for listening to this one. And if you want to if you'd like to have prayer, you'd like for us to pray over your marriage, or you want to share with us, please share in the comments or privately. We'd truly be honored to do that. So
and you can do that, like Missy said, put it in the comments of this video on YouTube, or we're going to post it to our Facebook, and then in there you can get to us direct message, and maybe we'll add some ways to contact us as well, maybe going forward. But I think that covers it.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, we always want to say this: we love you and we love your marriage. So we want you to be successful, and and that's all this is about. So thank you again for listening, and we look forward to the next time we're with you. Until then, God bless.
Blessings. Bye.